Welcome again to another episode of Counselor's Soapbox video channel. Today we're going to talk about caffeine and begin with the basic information. In the United States, when we say caffeine, most people are thinking of coffee. But as you'll see, there are many other sources of caffeine. There are a number of compounds closely related to caffeine that occur naturally. Besides caffeine, will include the theophylline found in tea, theobromide in milk chocolate. These sorts of compounds occur in about 60 different species of plants, but caffeine is the most common and the strongest. Caffeine and related stimulant use was probably ancient, going back as far as the Old Stone Age. It was used in Arabia and in China in the form of tea, but it was not used commonly in Europe until about the time of Columbus. Today, caffeine is a cradle-to-grave drug, and some of its use may be beneficial. Caffeine use is extremely common. About 90% of the world's population uses caffeine or some similar compound on a regular basis. There's an increasing use by children. Because of low body weights, children, particularly small preschool children, get the highest effective doses. The use of caffeine in energy drinks and sodas has obscured the high level of caffeine use. Little is known about caffeine's effects on children, and it would be very difficult to study samples in which some children received a lot of caffeine and others received none, since use is so common. But we do know that by as early as age 11, withdrawal effects are found in children when they are deprived of caffeine. As with all drugs, it's important to look at the problems which may occur from using that drug. Adults with anxiety disorders should not use caffeine. Caffeine can make those anxiety disorders significantly worse. There's also evidence that it causes problems for some children, those with diabetes, particularly when the caffeine is consumed mixed with large amounts of sugar. Children in particular with seizures, cardiac abnormalities, mood disorders, largely depression, but also bipolar disorder, and children with behavioral disorders. Those disorders can be made worse by consuming caffeine. Other problems that occur with caffeine use are withdrawal, and some people have reported additional symptoms as a result of using caffeine. Some basic information about the pharmacology of caffeine. Absorption. Caffeine is readily absorbed, mixes readily with the blood, which is largely water, and the caffeine in the bloodstream peaks anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes after it is consumed. Half-life for caffeine can vary from 3 to 5 hours. Most people consume it again before that period of time, so throughout the day, additional doses of caffeine result in stacking or rising levels of caffeine in the bloodstream. The distribution is pretty universal throughout the body. Because caffeine rapidly dissolves in water, and the major component of blood is water, it goes everywhere in the body. Caffeine crosses the placenta to the fetus readily. More pharmacology of caffeine. The metabolism occurs mostly in the liver. However, there's an interaction between caffeine and alcohol, and also to some extent nicotine. So when alcohol is present, the liver may focus on the alcohol and the metabolism of caffeine is slowed. The elimination of caffeine occurs in the kidneys. Some can occur in the feces, but it is also excreted in saliva, semen, and breast milk. The interaction between caffeine and other drugs in the bloodstream can greatly alter the metabolism of both drugs. Other factors that affect caffeine metabolism. Things that slow the metabolism of caffeine are oral contraceptives, liver disease, or pregnancy. Having nicotine in the bloodstream speeds up the metabolism of caffeine, and other therapeutic drugs can vary greatly in their interaction with the metabolism of caffeine. Caffeine is an excellent example of building selective tolerance. I think many of us have known people who could consume a cup of coffee right before bedtime and had no problem sleeping. But in the morning when they get up, they would have a cup of coffee and said it woke them up. Selective tolerance is the ability to build tolerance to some effects of a drug, but not others. Many people build tolerance to the effects of caffeine on renal function, on sleep, on blood pressure, and heart rate. But most people do not report building any tolerance to caffeine's stimulant effects. What's ahead for Counselor Soapbox video channel? Next, a video on caffeine, the pros and cons, more specific drug videos, and also a series on mental health and wellness. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button directly below. Comments are always appreciated. If you'd like to get these videos as they're produced, please subscribe to the Counselor Soapbox video channel. Thanks for watching the Counselor Soapbox video channel. For more information on this and related issues, please visit the Counselorssoapbox.com blog, where you'll find over 1,500 texts, articles on mental health, substance abuse, and having a happy life. The David Joel Miller fiction and nonfiction books are now available on a wide variety of ebook sellers platforms. The photos here are all courtesy of Pixabay and Wikimedia and are licensed under the CCO Creative Commons free for commercial use, no attribution required license. Thanks again for watching.